Howdy! Hope you're having a splendid day, and if you're not, good luck. But luckily for you, you've stumbled upon this video, because in this video, I'm going to teach you how to pivot mentally. Without pivoting, we usually tend to feel that we're wasting our days, or that we're not utilizing our time efficiently. Quick context, I made a video the other day about how to fix a wasted day, and the solution I proposed was learning to pivot. In this video, I'm actually going to outline the needed skills and requirements to actually consistently pivot well and do it masterfully. That way you can extract the win no matter how your day goes. So the first thing that you need to learn about pivoting is it's a skill. And like most skills, you can get better at it. And like most skills, when you first start, you're not going to be very good at it. So the only difference between someone who can perform well and feel like they're very productive versus someone who is wasting their days often is repetitions. The difference between someone who could only lift the bar versus someone who could lift multiple plates boils down broadly to reps. So, like a personal trainer, in this video, I'm going to outline the specific things that you need to add your reps to finally pivot well. There's only 3 skills that are basically what you need to finally get going. First skill is going to be awareness. Second skill, second level, is emotional regulation. And finally, the third one is actually creating the pivot. There is a big mistake that people do is that they fast forward to level 3 or level 2 without doing level 1. They advance too far. You can definitely try to lift multiple plates before you're ready, but you might fail and might injure yourself. So yeah, let's get started with level 1. So level 1 is developing awareness, developing your internal radar. Because what usually happens is we have a high standard that we're not living up to. Like maybe we're at a 2 out of 10 energy, and we're trying to complete a task that requires 10 out of 10 energy. And instead of adjusting the goal or our standard, we're trying to force ourselves to reach that goal. So what happens is a self-discrepancy gap widens, that the ideal self and the actual you don't align. When this self-discrepancy gap widens, that's when our brain starts panicking. This is when you feel the moments of self-shame, guilt, self-loathing, all of these bad feelings that make you feel like you're not doing what you should be doing. Level 1, developing awareness, what you want to do is catch that moment. Be able to step back and recognize the gap is widening, and I feel my brain and my mind trying to attack me and shame me. It's kind of like someone shoots an arrow towards you, and while it's going towards you, you do absolutely nothing. You don't block, you don't dodge, you just take the damage. Because what's happening is you're not seeing the arrow. Before you can even block or dodge, you need to be aware of the arrow. Develop your radar. Finally, once you're able to get to the point where you're able to 100% recognize when that emotion or feeling happens, then you could graduate to level 2. Level 2 is emotional regulation. And notice how level 2 isn't about getting back into the work, because what you need to do is tend to the wound. The arrow just shot at you. You didn't block or dodge. You definitely can't run when there's an arrow to your knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
I guess the whole goal for level 2 is manage the damage. The trap for level 2 is fake rest. Instead of actually putting effort in getting out of the rut, what we usually tend to do is put a pillow there, add a blanket there. We make the rut more comfortable than actually getting out of the rut. What that usually means is finding ways that actually give you real rest. For many people, it could be working out, cleaning, meditating, because what usually tends to happen is we have a lot of self-loathing, hatred, guilt, high energy emotions while we're doom scrolling and playing games. To avoid those emotions, we're getting 0% work done and 0% rest. You actually need to stop, step back, and allow yourself real rest. I know for me, and you might have to find it out for yourself as well, is I just kind of step back from my work, I walk to the fridge and get a nice cold drink. And for the next 5 or 10 minutes, I just allow myself to be immersed in my delicious drink. Step back, let your CPU cool down, and now you're finally ready for level 3. Level 3 is creating the pivot. And this step is gonna feel kind of weird because it's not going to feel like you're making progress. And what I mean by that is we don't really have experience in creating our own solutions or pivot societally. What usually tends to happen when we are facing an issue is we try searching up for a solution, whether it be on Google, YouTube, Reddit, whatnot. And what's actually happening is we're finding other people's solutions. And maybe it does work for a little bit and it does have merits. I can't even fault you for that. However, sometimes maybe it'll work only just for a little bit and then you're back to feeling like you're wasting your days and procrastinating. You are the only version of yourself to ever exist in this time. You have your own thoughts, you have your own genetics, and you have your own unique experiences. Even I have a twin, and we live drastically different lives and have different thoughts. I would go as far to say that there's as many routes to success as there are people that live on this earth. The solution for you isn't out there, you have to create a solution. The goal for level 3 isn't about efficiency, it's about adding win data. That way you can start rebuilding self-trust. Because if you notice, it feels like we trust what's out there for ourselves more than we actually trust ourselves to make a solution for ourselves. Doesn't that seem kind of weird? Think about it. But yeah, anyways, those are the 3 prerequisite steps to finally start pivoting, and it's gonna feel tough. But as much as I would love to end the video there and go ahead and say the outro, myself, I know I would watch this video, probably save it, and never look at it ever again. But here's what I actually want for you, the audience member watching this video. I actually want you to be a different person after this video. And how do you do that? Is to actually start searching for your own motivation. Because if you notice, whenever we get into rabbit holes or we're getting into a game or whatever topic, for me it's Minecraft. When I first started playing Minecraft, I was looking through every video, how to build a base, how to make a mob farm, going through all the Wikipedia and looking through all the items. And the reason I did that was because it felt so important for me. It was salient. And what we need to do to actually become different and start making changes is make the information in this video important. How do we do that is you have to be that really annoying kid that always asks why. There's a reason why you clicked on this video. So why? Why did you click on this video? Why do you want to study for 4 hours? Why do you want the degree? Why do you want the job? Why do you want stability? And then eventually you're gonna hit bedrock. And it's gonna be tough because there's no why behind an answer. If you ponder about it enough, maybe you'll find your answer. Your own intrinsic motivation, and that's the thing that'll help you out of the rut. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be complex. Even if you end up reaching the end of the tunnel and you figure out that the reason for why is just cause or it's just fun, I would praise you for that. I would commend you because that's real intrinsic motivation. So yeah, now that you know how to pivot and do all these things, good luck, put in those reps. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.